Yeah, well, yeah, I found, I left.
Open the calendar, a little bit in that respect.
We'll pick it up.
Nobody from Sydney was there.
We'll pick it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Other than,
He hasn't met her.
All right, folks, we'll get started here in about 1 minute. We'll let the guys at the toaster get their food. And
Good. Yeah, just have them anytime they want to, they just need to know it.
She's a nice name. She's a nice name. She's good shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
tells me every time I go.
I talked to her when he texted you just recently. She said she's gonna get it done and all that stuff.
This is my second. Now you're putting it in the retirement club over there.
Ten of us.
So now we get a lift us in the morning.
No.
Yeah, sure. Looking for, I feel he was decent class. He was something that very little about him.
Yes, why?
They were still over there yesterday.
Okay, we're out of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
This is
Well, they'll kind of be here. I had the oil company came, the oil company shut a tank on legs, and they come to fill it.
Look his ring.
Yeah. Roughly. And in the building, what the problem was, is the basement, stairs was right there, when the downstairs, everything was a dirt solid.
Sometimes it's stupid things like, well, this place paid more. Well, 25 cents more now, which at least I could
Look
understand.
at my list.
So they went, they had
The answer
the
is,
stuff out there, they put up canvases, they had
nice things.
fans.
I never have so everybody was like, oh, you know, first time. So nobody, first place, they know I need to.
all right, folks, we'll get started here. We'll start off with attendance.
William Beavers.
Here.
Tara George. Here. David Simmons.
Here.
Margaret Wilson. Here. Ray Baker.
Here.
John Farquhar.
Here.
John Gusty. Josh Gusty, Jim McCready.
Here.
Mark Souza.
Here.
Peter Witropski.
Here.
Dave Brennan. Mark Hodgkins.
Here.
Ken Kurt.
Here.
Thomas Smith. Carl Turner is excused. Ken Chakowski is excused. Tom Pasquarelli.
Here.
Aaron Robinson is excused. Mickey Schwartz is excused. And Anthony Agresta are excused. Sid Chase.
Here.
Timothy Foster.
Here.
Victor Jones is excused. I am here. Damon West.
Here.
Dan Bixby.
I'm here.
Owen Hahn.
Here.
Howard Hoop.
Oh, yeah.
Judith Tiffany. And Peter Nichols. And Lou Jones is absent as well. We have a quorum, sir.
All right.
Any other question for me?
Let's, everyone should have received the minutes from October 16th.
Motion to approve.
Is there any questions, additions, deletions, corrections? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
So close.
All right. Introduction of guests.
We have Kyla Edgar and Alex Kaiser.
Only one from the dark side. All right. Correspondence, I believe, was in the minutes or
And will be in.
it will be in the minutes. I don't have a report, so we'll go right into secretary's report.
I just followed up with Dave. Lou Jones is home from the hospital, which is good news. Any other things?
No, Lou, ended up in Rochester, had some stuff rearranged, and he was in swing bed for a while. Now he is home, going to PE every day, and healing quite well.
The FEMA website is reopened, and if I get this correct, is it, Alex, is it Dishes that's going to make sure that they stay current with the content in case we ever have to have another website shut down?
I'm not positive on that part. I wasn't in those discussions. I can
Okay.
find out though.
I believe it's Dishes is going to pull down and own keeping the content current so that we have curriculum if the website ever shuts down again, and we could easily transition into hopefully either our own online LMS or be able to give curriculum to instructors to get it done. So they aren't gonna get caught without having anything.
Alex, you're not directly in coordination with President Trump on this?
You work on it?
Yeah. You have to go through Ryan first.
Probably.
New policies that have come out on 11/6/2507, EMS course funding update. Also on November 6/2508, educational pilot programs. And on 11/12/2509, supraglottic airway implementation for BLS. That will go to REMAC on December 3rd, and then I think we'll have the regional guidance to go along with the state guidance. The equipment regulations letter was notifying of the change to the acceptance of the regulatory change and a rollout to be complete by April 21st.
Starts April 21st, rollout for complete by October 22nd.
There's some things that fall under a 6-month period. There's some things that are a year period. So you have to look at depending on which set of regulation or which section of regulation it applies to.
Okay, so I did send a letter, I did attach the letter that Gina sent around from the state to the minutes that I sent out this morning, so, please realize that those are out there. They did not come out in a policy statement. So, and there's a waiver process, there's all sorts of stuff addressed in there that please take a good look at it. And lastly, FASNY gave me, their 2 courses. There's a 2026 Selden EMS conference on Saturday, January 21st, and the 2026 Geneva EMS seminar on March 7th and 8th. I attached those to the minutes, and then FASNY is looking for an EMS provider of the year. So I sent that nomination form around as well. That's it for me.
All right, treasurer's report.
Our REMSCO savings had an opening balance of $4,155.68 with deposits of 23 cents for a closing balance of $4,155.91. Our operating account started with $7,580.05. Expenses for the last 2 months, $2,473.82 for a closing balance of $5,106.23. Our CO and account opening and closing balance was $21,016.03.
Any questions on treasurer's report? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Regional program update.
Good morning, everyone. The EMS Awards Banquet was held this past Tuesday. It was a great turnout. The room was full. The food was good. Mike McAvoy was guest speaker, and he did a great job, as only Mike can do, if you know Mike. Full room, great night. Just a reminder, state meetings coming up in early December. I think they're the 9th and 10th, Beth?
Yes.
No disciplinary actions. Everybody behaved this month. Beth, did I miss it? Did you just speak to 2509?
I did.
I'll scratch that. Next combined REMAC meeting is Wednesday, December 3rd, 3 p.m. The Remo REMS REMSCO is also meeting that day at 11 a.m. The REMAC and Dr. Smith, this I think should be pertaining to you. The REMAC is going to need a quorum for this meeting as they will be voting on the new LifeNet patient care guidelines. It must be a physical quorum or a designated public remote site. I'm working on a Bassett site, if that works for you, or if the Remo office works for you, or if your house works for you and I can designate it a public site.
Or speculator ambulance meeting room.
Yeah, whatever works for you
That would
guys.
be great, because otherwise I've got, 3 hours drive time. around.
Yep, understood. So if you can designate something up that way, that you can designate a public site, the public is gonna walk in, but we have to publicize it, so. Just let me know, because last month, the REMAC voted to approve the protocols, but they had a big problem. They didn't have a physical quorum. State caught wind of it. I got a call from Ryan Greenberg. They kicked it back, and we're gonna try again in December. So, if you can procure a site up there, let me know.
Yeah.
Post
Not
it on the
headquarters.
website.
Headquarters.
You can do it at headquarters, or you can do it at the classroom. either one.
Just drop me an email. I'm also working on a couple other sites this week.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
yep. And our Remo REMSCOs voted to change their meeting time because they've had a problem obtaining a quorum. They voted to move the meetings to 10 a.m. Regular meeting schedule, the fourth Monday of the month, but 10 a.m. as opposed to 6 p.m. I'm curious to see if we'll have people, attend or not. We're gonna find out. That first meeting will occur in February. And I'm hoping folks give thought to the new program agency education and recruitment and retention contract items. I know I've already mentioned it, but I'll say it again. We need committee members for each initiative to get things moving. If you can bring anything to the table, please consider participating on one of these committees. Program agencies are contractually obligated to get this moving.
We have 6 names already, Tim.
Excellent, excellent. Give them to me, so I had no idea. Give them to me so I know. On a related note, myself and our REMSCO chair, Jim Stairs, did sit down with Howard and talk or brainstorm about paramedic education plans. So we're trying to move forward, at least laying the groundwork, so once we get going, we have at least a basic blueprint of, how to roll things out. I have no training updates to announce, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Training committee. Jim, Heidi, Howard,
The meeting was canceled this month, so.
anything you want to touch on?
I mean, new policy statement out by state EMS, so reimbursement money went up, so just make sure you do that. From the paramedic program, just if anybody's interested in next year's paramedic class, please get a hold of me sooner rather than later. I like rumor squashing, so I'll throw this one out there. There was a rumor going around a couple months ago that we're closed in full for next year. We're not. Actually, we're looking at expanding. The other rumor that was floating around was that we are now becoming, quote, a firefighter factory, and that we are turning into just like some of the other paramedic programs. And so I'll squish some rumor with some truth. Kingston Fire, Oneonta Fire, Niskayuna Fire, and Glens Falls Fire have all reached out without being, contacted by us. They reached out on their own accord to just simply ask about the program and how it fit, just to see if it would fit their needs better, and that's it. So there's no holding seats for them. It's just like any other EMS agency that's looking to send students. That's it. We welcome them, but just like we would anybody else.
Howard, do you have a CIC update in December?
We do have a CIU, yep.
When
Yep.
is that?
December something. Give me 2
Did
seconds.
you send it out already?
I did.
Oh,
December 16th.
okay, I'll look for it.
I'll send it to you right now.
Thanks.
Yep.
Jim, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
I guess education, vital signs is in Niagara Falls next year. Brian put up a very nice slideshow video about sunny, beautiful, warm Niagara Falls. And then announced that the conference was still in November.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest riding the Maid of the Mist in mid to late November, but whatever. You know.
They're gonna have marked on the ticket size.
State council report, there really isn't anything we, like Beth already mentioned, we're meeting on December 9th and 10th. REMAC, anything from REMAC?
Meet December 3rd.
December 3rd.
Tom, under REMAC, do you want to talk about the medical control plan? And because I kind of went training and ed and then back to REMAC and.
You were leading that work group.
All right, cool, great. I was? I was. So, yeah, we got looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense, because none of us are on the REMAC, and we were rewriting the medical control plan for the region. So I asked Tom and Beth if we should maybe kick this back over to the REMAC for their review first, and somebody can just mark it up. So Tom, even if you want to talk to Remo and see what they do and like come up with something. We seem to have a manual. I feel like most places have 2 pages. I'm sure there's a compromise somewhere. But let us know what you need, and then if you need help wordsmithing or putting the document together, we'd be happy to. But I feel like we shouldn't be doing physician level.
Is for what document? For
our medical control plan.
medical control plan?
I would say that probably we'll get more traction if there's something proposed that they could look at and.
Well, so I would kick that old manual out, and even if somebody just wants to take a red pen to it, that's completely fine. And you have the one that I got from Susie, right?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe forward that along too, is a little bit more direct. And I don't know what Remo does. What does?
I just made a note. Look it up. What exactly are you looking for?
Well, so apparently it came up because Beth, God bless her, is good at digging up things that we should have done and didn't do, and she pays attention to it.
Well, the state found that.
Right. Well, either way. So we have to have a medical control plan. Well, we have one. It's just, an antique. So but it's apparently a state requirement that the region has a medical control plan. It's news to me.
I'll find out what we have, look it up, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, if ours is from 74 and yours from 84, we'll meet you at 78.
I mean, obviously, and this may be something that we need to look at jointly, right, as we have a joint REMAC.
Yeah.
Go out and-
See how many times the term AppCore is mentioned in there, take that stuff out.
Absolutely.
County reports. Hamilton.
Not much, we got 3 new students from our agency taking the empty course. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get a class going in March too. Probably speculator.
Fulton.
Not really much going on. I know Jim has a EMT class going on, that's about it.
Montgomery, one thing that I just want to mention with it kind of benefits Montgomery, Fulton, and Hamilton County is while we're doing Jim's EMT course, we're working in conjunction with a BOCES program so that in 2025 they've implemented the firefighting side of things, which is BFO, for those of you in firefighting, and in 2026 they're going to implement an EMT program for those students, so they come out as both firefighter EMT students. So while it probably wasn't a smart business decision to run the course, we're doing it so that we can form those relationships with that BOCES program. So it kind of benefits all 3 counties. Schoharie.
Nothing much. Got nothing.
Nothing? Let's see go.
Our SUNY EMT class tests out next month. We're about a month into our Cooperstown EMT class, as well as the AMT class.
so finishing up that contract. Still working on our QA/QI program, countywide QA/QI, building that up, having good meetings, trying to implement in that meeting some type of educational piece that goes to it. So that's moving along nicely with good participation. That's pretty much it.
All right. Old business.
Well, we probably should have hit it under committees, because we did form a bylaw committee, but we can cover it now.
Sorry, I was absent last month.
That's okay, and I forgot to tell them to add that to the committee list.
All right, bylaw committee? Any kind of report?
Go for it.
So the bylaws were reviewed, and they are kind of like the medical control plan, have not been touched in a really long time, and there's a lot of pieces to them that need to be addressed. But the pieces that we were working on that was, something that needed to be done was the officers. So Beth has got the wording for the proposed bylaw changes.
It's okay, I got it somewhere.
So we've got Article 4, Section C. The secretary shall keep a roll of the members' minutes of the meeting, carry on all necessary correspondence, and shall submit a report as required to the appropriate office of the Department of Health. So separating out the secretary and the treasurer into two positions. So then D, the treasurer shall manage the finances, including budget, financial reporting, and overseeing income and expenses to ensure fiscal responsibility and transparency, and shall submit reports as required to the appropriate office of the Department of Health. So those are the two, separating out those two positions. And then Article 2, Section A, the membership, except that the regional medical director shall be considered to have been elected to the voting membership of the regional council. So the regional medical director will have a vote in the regional council.
So back to the finance part of it. I guess my question would be, now that we and Tim, please weigh in here. Now that we contract with Remo, I mean, technically Dave, right, does all of the finances for all of this stuff, right? Or is he just doing program agency stuff?
On our end,
I do the finances.
For Aaron's?
For the REMSCO, I do
Okay,
finances.
I just want a clarification.
Yeah.
That's all.
So the program agency, Dave handles the program agency stuff, and
Andy handles REMSCO from our end. But he only handles Aaron's program agency from that.
Okay. I just need clarification.
Yep.
That's all. Okay. Perfect.
And that was kind of discussion last month, and we did talk to several program agencies. You talked to North Country and Suzie.
Well, Susie is one of them.
And the majority of them have a board that handles the executive functions.
And I see that Montgomery County's got an open spot on that committee, so we will work on that.
Which,
On the bylaw committee.
no, that's the paramedic education and, yeah. So, are you making those as motions, Maggie?
Yes. So they have to sit for 30 days.
They have to be published for 30 days.
And I have that wording that you're gonna get.
I have the wording, but we need a second and a vote on at least putting them up for.
I'll second that.
Got you, Dave, thank you. I need to find where I was.
Ask a question now that we have a second.
Discussion.
Regional medical director. It's not really a thing. Some regions make it. Do we have one in writing, a job description for a regional medical director for ARMS?
We have a contract, which would have to read to see if it includes the
But
job
like, there's a job
description.
description in it, and, because it's actually not a state thing. There's a chair of a REMSCO and chair of a REMAC, but there is not an actual state medical director position, a regional medical director position. So each region has handled it a little bit differently. You know, Tim will tell you, like, back in the day, Doc Westney is the reason why there ever was any regional medical directors in the state, because he just was that person. And then it kind of paused for a little while and went back and forth a little bit. Then when Dr. Daly kind of picked it up, it became more active. But each region kind of handles it differently, because there's no state, and Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no state mandate for a position of a regional medical director. So I would say if we have that, I just want to make sure that we have our own job description for it, and that we're content with
contracted
that.
with Dr. Fisher on that.
So what are his duties as a regional medical director, roughly?
I can't quote the document off the top of my head. There's a lot of things I can pull out, but I can't pull that out.
I just
will
want,
send a
look, I
copy
sit here
of the
too, I should know it, I
contract
don't.
around. So do we want the regional medical director, or do we want to have a member of REMAC who's a voting member on the council?
I think if we have a regional medical director and we
We're
have a
paying
contract
him.
he should have a vote on the council.
I don't disagree with that. However, I agree with Howard. We have to have some sort of a job description. What are his duties, right? I mean, as agencies, you know, every time we recertify or whatever else, we have to have our medical director sign off, right? And we should have, as agencies, I'm sure, at least our bigger agencies have a job description for what they expect of the medical directors, you know, to provide. So I think that is important.
And maybe I just offer a soft wording change that still doesn't slow this down. So we change regional medical director to chair of REMAC.
I was actually gonna say that, because I think they are the de facto regional medical director.
I don't like that,
I don't like it either. So how about we?
and I'll tell you why.
Tell us what.
Because that person is predominantly Remo-based right now, and I feel like we need to have somebody who,
No, I'm not speaking specifically about our program agency. We have 18 different regions, theoretically 18 different REMACs out there with REMAC chairs. The way I look at it is the chair of that REMAC oversees that particular region. I'm not talking about REMA.
I was gonna say, ARMS should still have a,
REMAC is combined. And the chair of the combined REMAC is Robbie McHugh.
okay,
So
but,
I would really like to get someone who practices out here, who understands,
yeah.
and would represent more strongly the needs of ARMS.
Alex, I'm totally putting you on the spot, I'm sorry. So, or anybody else can ask your question. I know we're basically subcontracting through the program agency, and then we have an MOU or something with Hudson Mohawk REMSCO to combine our REMACs, right? But when it comes to the state, the two entities still exist separately, right? So they're each responsible for their own decisions.
I have not seen the contracts with
The
that.
REMSCOs
The
are.
REMSCOs exist separately.
The
Right.
REMSCOs are
We
separately.
contract for program agency only.
Okay, so the REMACs are subcommittees to the REMSCOs.
Correct.
So it sounds like we should still have an ARMS REMAC chair.
I would agree with that statement.
But there are REMACs, there is precedence for a REMAC to service several regions. It happens out west. There's
Yeah.
one REMAC that services 2 regions. So why would we delineate and make it harder? Because then I need a separate set of minutes for everything, and we have to go, well, was this quorum for this region, or do we have enough for quorum for that region? It's a combined REMAC serving 2 regions.
Could there be co-chairs?
Well, or you just have dual membership on your REMAC.
Could there be a chair from each?
So I think we've done this, right? I mean, we've talked about this, and our REMACs are kind of sort of combined.
Yeah, they are. Truthfully, I don't know if there's been any official document or anything generated to officially merge them, but they basically have combined. And we consider Dr. Smith, Dr. Fisher, Dr. Jastrzemski, and whoever else is out there, Afienko and stuff, voting members of our REMAC. That's why I mentioned the upcoming vote for the Life Net protocols. I was still under the assumption, though, here Dr. Fisher was your REMAC chair.
He's the regional medical director. Our REMAC chair was Dr. Mark Witz, and since he retired or whatever he's doing now, we have not filled that position.
Because of a belief that their doctor is the chair of the combined.
Well, it's not a chair, it's a joint.
Well, they do there is a.
We do have a chair on our end. Dr. Robert McHugh is the chair of
The combined REMAC.
Yes, I don't see why you can't have a co-chair, you know, if that's something you want. I can't, you know, you can pretty much do what you want.
So can I suggest that we amend the motion, because we're having this big, long argument about it? And we can amend the motion to remove that piece and discuss it in another meeting, and so we can at least get the split put on the,
I'll second that amendment.
and then we can discuss this in new business.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor of, I guess, tabling,
Getting it published for,
So amending the motion.
amending the motion?
Amending the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right.
I'll get it published.
Thank you.
New business.
Well, not so much new business, but on the topic that we were just discussing, perhaps we should look into getting some definitions of what we were just discussing between the two as to who is who, and so moving down the road, we can identify individuals as job descriptions and what people's places and duties are. Because obviously, right now, it's a lot of confusion.
So, I agree, and, you know, obviously, as time has changed, right? It used to be every REMSCO had their own protocols, right? And we've kind of steered away from that and gone to pretty much a statewide protocol, or the collaborative protocols, right? So it kind of merged all of them together. While I do, I guess, under policy or regulations, every REMSCO does have the ability to alter them or approve certain parts of those protocols. I do think that is important. I think that the reason why we got steered off of that direction is because we've really not done that. We've always partnered with, originally, Mountain Lakes, Remo, or Hudson, Mohawk, and Arrows. So, yeah, I think that we have to have that, and can you have it, is there a job description for?
We have a medical director job description, but it's more of an agency-specific medical director. If you're a director, XYZ ambulance service, these are your requirements. I don't think we have a medical director job description for the REMAC.
I believe there's a policy that covers it. Is there not a medical, or is that agency medical director? That's agency.
So, yeah, I think that.
I think it should be looked into.
Maybe formalizing the joint REMAC a little bit.
One way or another, right? And
I think that's a good idea, and I think it probably should be discussed at one of the REMAC meetings. Now that the Ahrams docs have more or less been incorporated into that body, they need to have, you know, a say there as well. If you create a co-chair position, or however you do it, if you have a Remo doc run it 1 year, an Ahrams doc run it, however you want to do it, I think that's something you need to give thought to.
Alex, could you help us out by figuring out how that one REMAC serves the two regions, and if there's any sort of MOU or something that flows?
Yeah, I can try to find out on that. I'll let you know once I can find something.
if there's something that could help us build this and not build it from scratch, it would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't wanna take a step back, I mean, right, we've made that decision 2 years ago to combine and to do all this stuff, because that's the state, #1 state initiative, and it just makes sense financially. So I definitely don't wanna take a step backwards and recreate things, and complicate things, so, yeah, if Alex can help us with that, that would be fantastic.
I just pulled the contract that we have with Bill Fisher. Thank you. And even the terms in here are like super duper loose. So I don't even know if this contract would even hold any weight, because there's nothing that really says what he does. It says the services to be performed by the medical director. It doesn't even say regional medical director, just medical director. Shall at times be subject to the direction and control of the ARMS REMAC as to all matters arising in connection with or relating to this agreement, subject to the medical director's right and obligation to at all times use his best medical judgment. ARMS recognizes and approves the ARMS REMAC as its only medical advisory committee. So really, it also says that this person is basically responsible to the REMAC, which is currently a shared REMAC. So this person, in essence, by what we have, reports to the REMAC chaired by Robbie McHugh. So we probably want to look at this stuff.
And Alex, I mean, it's been a year and a half since I did my research paperwork, but does it still require a regional medical director on the research paperwork?
For the individual provider or the agency?
No, the agency.
Agency.
No, it's just your agency medical director that's signing the affirmation and then on the controlled substances.
Because it used to have both.
Mm-mm.
It did.
Okay.
The CME research?
No.
No.
Agency.
Oh, the agency research, yeah.
Used to have, you had to have the regional medical director's information on there.
Right. And I think
And
that's.
that may be why we had it, is one of the
Well, so
reasons.
it was there because of education, because you needed to have somebody sign off on whatever the program agency education side was. So you needed to have a doctor that was signing off on your course apps and stuff, whether it be a CLI or CIC course or EMT or whatever.
All right. Any other discussion on that? If not, new business. From what I'm being told, we have not adopted the new, or voted in a new secretary or treasurer. Again, I wasn't here last month, so please help me.
No names came forth.
We
I mean-
had some discussion
I mean,
about
that-
having somebody not in this body be the treasurer, right? Somebody who's an accountant. There was some discussion about using somebody else who I didn't more knowledge than we do. Is that something we can contract with?
I think that.
I figured this question was gonna come up.
I figured I'd just start with it.
Here comes a bus, Tim.
Well, to your first point, though, that's why we went back and pulled a couple different regions and said, hey, what do you guys do financially or with your finances? And they basically did it in-house. I believe Susie does contract with a bookkeeper. I think Jonathan does it through Fort Drum Regional. We have our in-house bookkeeper. Can you as a REMSCO contract with us, conduct your financial services? I might give that Alex another homework assignment.
So North Country and ML REMSCOs have their own treasurer who is elected into that position annually.
So we have a treasurer that basically reviews, pretty much like you guys do, I think, the financials. We have an in-house bookkeeper that does the day-to-day nuts and bolts financial bookkeeping.
And then CNY, one of the officers on the board is the treasurer. All board positions are volunteer. The board has fiduciary oversight of the organizations. We are told that many years ago by DOH audit unit, the board cannot be performing the day-to-day organization duties. That's what the employees are responsible for. We do contract with an accountant who comes in once a month to perform financial transactions for us. Example, input invoices, schedule payments, and bank reconciliations.
And we already contract with an auditor.
Yep, same order we use, Tilbecker, Charmante, they conduct two individual or two separate audits. See, I don't see why you couldn't, but I would like it in black and white from the state, you know, before we move forward, something like that. I'm sure Dave, our bookkeeper, could do it. Does it for us, I don't think it would be a heavy lift for him to incorporate this region into it.
So do I understand, there would still be a treasurer on this board, just the bookkeeping
Yeah.
services would be provided by Remo?
But I would like the state to say, yep, you can move forward and do something like that. You have the ability or authorization to do it.
Yeah,
I've already talked to our bookkeeper about it. Beth and I have had in-house discussions about it, but I'd like the state to come out and put something black and white that we can, you know, rely on. But once again, I don't think it'd be a heavy lift to do it. I just want the okay to do it.
Dave's been fantastic. I think Dave's been there before I was even
He's
online.
been there probably almost 30 years.
Okay, so it's around the same time.
We've had different auditors and stuff in the past, but we've had the same bookkeeper. He knows inside and out.
Perhaps want to look at, maybe looking at another one, that way when Dave eventually retires, I would assume it has to be soon, that at least one of our two regions has somebody set up and it makes it easier for transition for the other side.
Backup.
Yeah. I know, right? Contingency planning?
Oh, well, we have contingency plans for leadership and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really have a contingency plan if the bookkeeper retires. I don't know how you can set up a backup bookkeeper plan, other than I'm gonna call XYZ or I'm gonna call Tierbecker and Charmani and say, hey, can you assume these duties now?
That was kind of what I was
Probably
thinking,
be one
right?
of the things I would do. That being said, I don't foresee Dave going anywhere.
Good.
He has a pretty good, Dave's a retired battalion chief from Albany Fire, has been doing bookkeeping for Reno, like I said, for
Long
probably
time.
almost 30 years. Some type of degree in finance or accounting.
You know, I have so many thoughts on that. Well, we don't foresee him going anywhere. What happens if something were to happen?
Like he wins the lottery.
Yeah.
By a bus.
Right, I
Forbid,
mean,
you know, it's not-
what's that plan, right? So, you
We've
know,
kind of been down this road with Phil though, like, and then we had a
this
very
is,
long
so
discussion
this is,
about
that's
this
why I'm a
loan
little
and-
gun shy, right? So
Yeah.
Phil, I mean, we're still trying to figure out stuff because Phil did it for 35 years, right?
We have a single point of failure, or we did have a single point of failure.
We are the O-ring.
That would be my only concern, and maybe that answer is, could those people pick it up, you know, and that, you know, pick up that duty, and whether it's short-term, long-term, whatever the case may be, you know, maybe that is the plan, but.
You know, truthfully, could we do it? We could do it. But if you ask me, I think this body should do it themselves. Each REMSCO should oversee their own finances. Because of a point you guys just brought up, what if something did happen? You guys gonna come back to Remo and say, hey, what happened? How'd this get screwed up? What did you guys do? Not that that would ever happen, but my opinion, each REMSCO has a fiduciary responsibility to run themselves. I'm not sure if that's set forth in that statute or not, but, you know, that's just my 2 cents. Could we do it? We could do it. But if something like that arose, you know, I would, you know, I don't want it to create a potential headache or an issue down the road, something like that.
So could we reach out and see what kind of book company, bookkeeping company to contract with?
I mean,
I
I
think
guess
that-
we could, I mean, but we're talking such a small amount of money.
And we had a 23-cent deposit.
Right, I mean,
Good
it's,
thing we didn't want to buy a stamp.
right, it's such a
we
small
save
amount
up.
of money, and like I said, the number of, even the number of checks that go out, you know, for the REMSCO side of things, or, you know, tracking those expenses. I mean, we're talking $25,000 a year.
So it shouldn't, what I'm saying is if you use a larger company or you use an individual, it shouldn't be that great of an amount. We're not asking for a ton of work to be done. I think we're just asking for somebody else who can concentrate on that and fill out state paperwork when required. And everybody here is busy.
That provides a level of
This isn't the
security
only
to
committee
you,
anybody sits
that
on.
provides a level of transparency also. You know, I've thought about that, do we outsource our bookkeeping and stuff, you know? I've thought about it a lot, you know, and I've looked into that. There are a number of companies, Margaret, I'm sure would take it on, even though you don't have a lot of expenses. You know, you just have to see how much they charge to do it, you know, but that gives you that transparency of an outside source doing it. And I think it gives you also a level of security. But again, that's just my opinion.
We can look into it. I mean, I don't foresee it being, you know, under $400 or $500 a month. I mean, that's the reality of it. You know, that obviously equates to a significant amount of our errands budget.
I mean, if you did it with us too, I'd have to figure out some type of payment or charge also. So would it be the same, you know, as whether you outsourced it or not, you know? I mean, it would, if we took it on, it would definitely come with a cost as well. So I don't know, maybe you should look at it and weigh it out, which one is best, which is the best option.
In the meantime, we're gonna get some guidance from Alex, right?
Yeah, I'll look and see if that's something that can be contracted for or not with a third party.
Can a REMSCO contract with another REMSCO for the bookkeeping, or program agency for the bookkeeping?
Yeah, I will ask the question, they'll probably come back with some questions, and who do you want me to direct the questions to, just that way they can understand?
They'll go to DLA, which is Division of Labor and Legal Affairs, and they'll get their 2 cents opinion on it, so it'll take a little while to get an answer.
Can we put this on the agenda for this time next year?
Or this time,
Yeah, you're writing
2035.
the agendas then.
We'll revisit it in 2040.
That still doesn't help our predicament of secretary and treasurer for elections.
When are the elections?
They were.
They were last time.
Last month. You're still here. We have an excellent person that's handling our booking. She's extremely thorough, and even though EMS is out of her scheme, she's a good study. I forwarded her an email. She'll probably need some more information, of course, but she would be an excellent fit. She's retired, and she just loves to keep it. She's been a huge asset to our organization. Might help, that's why I said, reach out and see if she's in.
So my question becomes, what do we do in the meantime? Are you willing to stay in this?
I will give you to the end of the year.
2026.
God bless you.
Did-
Seven. 2027.
30.
No, no.